I just recorded a video, but here we are back in the counselor's office for a round 2 video. I forgot to mention in that video, I do have a Discord. Link will be down below for you guys if you want to join it for the community. Also, check out the video down below as well. If you're part of the channel, I want to make sure everyone knows that there is a giveaway going on for subs. Check it out. Just check it out, okay? Check it out. Today we're reacting to some more Destiny. Destiny 3 is trending. It seems like this has been going on for the past year, or Destiny 3 has been like trending to some extent. So I think this is what it is. Destiny 3 is awesome too. You're doing Vault of Glass remastered. So I think it started with this comment right here. I don't get how some people are so opposed to Destiny 3. Bungie just released arguably the greatest expansion ever, and the game immediately plummeted to an all-time low, and content creators are starting to quit. We are losing players faster than ever. Clearly, D2 isn't working. And he's right. If you look at the numbers now Destiny 2, even though Destiny 2's launch was considered a failure and almost killed the game, we have more numbers. By the way, this is without, this is like random roll, like no random rolls or anything. Like, the game arguably was better with no random rolls than we are with random and crafted weapons. Like, this is the worst that Destiny has ever been. This is the worst in Destiny history. So, yeah, it's a big deal. He's right. A lot of people are leaving. People beg for Destiny 3, acting like Bungie won't remove the fundamental systems, give us 0 launch content, and make some bullshit changes. Not to mention, everyone who begs for D3 will just cry because they missed a certain piece of the in-game content. Well, that's the thing. I think a lot of people miss Destiny 1 because it's not on PC, and it's tied to old content. Destiny 2, as long as the servers are on, all this content will always be alive, and you could play it on any PC. Now, whether they eventually cut service to new consoles, I don't know. But it's apples to oranges. Destiny 2 can live on forever, whereas Destiny 1 is stuck on old content, and maybe even the new content, like on the PlayStation and Xbox. If it lets you do backwards, like old video games, you can do it. But PC, like, is guaranteed. Like, go and play old games from years ago on PC. So, again, D3 is very possible. If people want to play old new content, they could just go back right now to. Unlike D1, you would have to get console. You can't do that on PC. I don't know. That was a long tangent, but I hope I'm making sense for people who struggle with this concept of why D2 would be fine and D3 would still be fine. It's okay, Cross. We'll get a Destiny 3 soon, and none of that will matter. I don't know what that's. Destiny 3 is the right decision if Bungie gets it right. Emphasis on if. For me, that looks like a brand new game set within the Destiny universe. Fresh start, new characters, new weapons, armor, new engine, new story, new raids, new servers. Not old content repurposed as new. And I agree. If Destiny 3 ever came out, it needs to be a completely new slate. Get rid of the Tiger engine. I'm sorry. Get rid of the Tiger engine. Get rid of all the bloat, the BS. Destiny 2 will hold all the old content you want to play. The only thing that should go forward is maybe some relics, like old, like Galahorn, right? Like this. And I can see them bring back some relics from D1, just as like a reminder. But most of everything should just stay in D2 if D3 comes. And I think people don't realize that Destiny 2 has been around for years. Most games would have a sequel by now. Let's be honest. It's okay. People would be upset about losing their loot. You wouldn't be losing it. It's still here in D2. Still here. It will still be there. And if you don't want to play D3, then don't play D3. Continue to play D2. Hey, people act like we're going to have a D1 situation where you're not going to be able to come back to it. If you're on PC, you're fine. Never used the mute a word feature before, but I'm about to add Destiny 3 to it. It's not going to happen. If you think Bungie's capable of making a D3, you're simply stupid. And that's a big thing. Like, we're living in this copium that Bungie would be able to do it in the first place. I don't think they can. I think Sony has to be the one to do it. I think they have to bring in other studios, kind of like how Bungie had to have Activision and like their studios, like Vicarious Visions, help save the game with Forsaken. I think they would need the same thing for Destiny 3. I do not think they would be capable of doing it on their own, especially with how low morale is and how spread thin they are. There's no shot. Destiny 3, the only thing that's going for Bungie is that they're really good. They have a track record with games with a 3 on it being a banger. And I'm referring to Halo 3. But outside of that, there's nothing else that I would lean on. Destiny 3 would have to be such a drastic improvement in almost every way compared to Destiny 2. Agreed. For people to be willing to accept leaving behind the game they spent years of time and effort and money on, you can't just release X game, the sequel, and expect people to buy it. Unless you're Call of Duty, in which case, yes. Yes, you can. Or Borderlands. Borderlands literally is going on 4 right now. Granted, it's not happening every year. People act like people aren't buying sequels. They are. But overall, I do agree. We need quality. Quality. Substance. I swear Destiny 3 hasn't happened because the player base cannot accept losing their guns and loadouts and starting over. Look at the reaction to sunsetting. Exactly. I do think that there is a little bit of a little over-exaggeration from people. Like, you're not even losing it. Sunsetting literally pulled away your guns, your loot. You're not losing it. It's still there. And unlike Destiny 1, where you can only play on like certain consoles, you can play PC at any time. Any PC. Literally, you upgrade your PC, but you could play forever. As long as they keep the servers up, you're good. You're good. It's okay. People against Destiny 3 always talk like they always do every 4-year-old activity in the game for old loot. The average Destiny player does the current seasonal activity, Crucible and Strikes. Barely any of the population even does raids and dungeons, which is true. They're clutching Pearl. And it's true. A very low percentage of people do raids. It's true. It's very true. This is the only world where Destiny 3 is the right idea. A complete end to recycled and reused content. I'm just not sure Bungie has the capacity to desire to do it. No, they have a track record of reused content and everything. Like, literally Destiny 2, part of the reused content for like seasons is content that's already in the game. We literally got sunsetted content as seasonal content. I guarantee you, Destiny 3, if they made it, and it wasn't like it was just Bungie, would have Destiny 2 assets in it. Absolutely. Generally, what would Destiny 3 do for Destiny 2? A lot. New server. I mean, that's huge. Wipe everything clean. New mechanics. Like, you could have a rogue. They could have a different kind of game. Hell, they can make D3 actually have it be based off an MMO. It could be a real MMO. It could have a real economy and how guns work and how you get exotics. Like, they could do an actual economy. They could like Warframe or random rolls. Like, how would that work? Well, you could sell someone your gun and they open it up and it's a random rolled gun. Like, people go out there, farm these guns, then trade them and get like pay for them, and they have a random roll. Especially like if it's an activity where it's a rare gun, people could pay you money or currency and you get a random gun and it opens up and you get a random roll. And then to make sure that, and you could try to sell that gun, or you could try, I don't know, like, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I'm not a developer, but I came up with a better idea for like what could be a thing. Anyone's like, that's going to kill the grind. Literally, Warframe and other games that have economies and have trading literally still exist and have literally grinding in them. Like, people act like trading in Destiny would be the end of Destiny. It wouldn't. Because you could say the same thing for everything else. Someone is completely clueless. We should have had Destiny 3 almost 2 years ago. Instead, they destroy the class system so there's no uniqueness when it comes to choosing a Titan, Warlock, or Hunter. Who the fuck asked for classes to mirror each other? The game is now dead. I think that's... granted, they are trying to change it now, of like Titan getting taunt, but like they really did destroy everyone getting healing nades and crap like that. Really killed it for Warlocks. Why? Everyone getting overshield, again, killing it for Titans. It's because they lack the capability of coming up with unique actual features. Instead, they have to make it a blanket change for everyone and saying, hey, look, we did a big thing. Everyone gets overshields now. Neat. D3 wouldn't fix any of the problems people have with D2. True, because Bungie exists. Most of the problem is that people are just tired of it. They're satisfied, they've done it all, and all the new things to do aren't different enough. A Destiny 3 would have to be a totally different game to fix Destiny. Again, make it into an actual MMO. I would be excited to play a Destiny that's actually MMO. Take the shooting of Destiny, which is what most people like about this game, and make it an MMO, like a real MMO. Like copy, look at WoW, look at Final Fantasy, look at all these, looking like Elder Scrolls, look at all these MMOs and clearly cheat. Take some home notes, please, for the love of God, and make a real MMO. Not the looter shooter that's wearing a Halloween mask that says MMO on it. Like, let's be a real MMO. Destiny 3 players, when it launches with a terrible weapon system, 6 strikes, 100 guns, and 3 basic subclass, it will take 10 years until their favorite gun returns. I think this is very disingenuous. That's becoming a term for the community and for Destiny. It's very disingenuous. One, people didn't like the launch of Destiny 2 because they removed random roles. If we had Forsaken content at launch of Destiny 2, people would have been ecstatic about Destiny 2. Not to say that the Red War campaign was good. It is a really good campaign. It's just overshadowed by how bad the base of the game was. It was just bad. Which is funny, because even the base game had more players than what we currently now do. We're in a worse state now than we are at the launch of Destiny 2. I think that shit, again, that says more than enough that maybe we do need Destiny 3. Unless Destiny 3 carries over my vault and inventory, I'm not into it. I'm not doing this all over again a second time. Again, if they make it into a real MMO, I'm down for it. I want to see what we can do. What if they could do something about random roles and crafting and merge it into like a real MMO style? I would be excited for that. Like Diablo 4 has crafting systems or enhancements. Like if they could just take these foundations and merge them. Now, do I think Bungie could do that? No, I have no faith, based on the fact that the morale in the company itself is low. The fact that Sony, it's been like clearly Sony has said that the company needs to get their head out of their asses. Like there's so much against the idea that Bungie could do it successfully. It's not just me hating hate. There is feasible, logical reasoning with some data to show that Bungie can't do it. And also financially. Destiny 3 would need to be completely new characters, destination, weapons, activities, nothing returning from the past to keep it fresh. Returning content made sense in Destiny 2 because it was directly after Rise of Iron, the same destination characters. It didn't make sense because they literally almost ruined the game. They removed random roles. It would have made sense if Forsaken was like, we just jumped right into Forsaken. Like, hell yeah, brother. Like, if literally, think about it. Destiny 2 would have been accepted significantly more at launch if the first thing we went from Destiny 2 to Destiny 1 to Destiny 2, and you see Cade being killed. Holy crap. What a precedent set for Destiny 2. We go from Destiny 1 to Destiny 2, and immediately someone we grew to love is dead. Wow. Wow. Gamers love sequelitis too much. Nobody ever says why there should be a Destiny 3. I'd entertain if people were like, we should get Destiny 3 with dual wielding or We should. Destructible physics. We should. But that's not the argument. It's just Destiny 3 for the sake of saying it's 3. I think it's also the fact that, like, you have to look at PvP. There's so many, like, okay, so here's a good reason. New content comes out. We have so many crafted weapons right now that new crafted weapons have to step up the next bar. We have power crept so much that new loot is pointless, especially if it's random rolled loot. Why should I care when I have 50 to 100 crafted weapons that do the same thing or are good enough? I have a god roll raid weapon crafted or that I literally don't have. It doesn't matter. And that's the problem. We just got the Choir of One. I looked at it. People are like, wow, this is really strong. And I'm like, sure, it's strong, but how many other strong exotics do we have? Am I going to use this elsewhere? Probably not. And that's the problem. We have so many guns, so many crafted guns, so many random rolls. I have 500 or 600 god rolls that I barely touch. And I use like just 6 of them. But they're all god rolls. They're all good weapons. And that's why Destiny 3 needs to happen. A flat reset. And we need to make it to where we're not getting oodles and oodles of like god roll. I think we need to bring back good loot chase. Like actual good loot chase. Not participation trophies, like an actual MMO where you have to grind for it. And don't say there's no way you can do it. If that was the case, MMOs like WoW would have been dead years ago. Would have been dead years ago, but they continue to have people chase for loot. Clearly, D2 isn't working. Yes, that's exactly why Destiny 3 is a terrible idea. I hope it helps. I think it's not wrong. I think if Bungie, if it was Sony saying, hey, we're making Destiny 3, I would be like, hell yeah. We're talking about Bungie. I don't see it coming out. I don't see it working. Destiny 3 conversation can be boiled down to maybe Destiny and Bungie die. Maybe they don't. Maybe they understand the severity of the situation, pull their heads out of their asses, and make a comeback. Not something they could do with D2. I don't think they could. I think Destiny 2 has run its course. There's too many mistakes, crafting being one of them. I think there's too much going on in the game that they're going to continue to flip-flop the game. They're going to nerf things. They're going to buff things. They're going to tear things apart. And it's going to piss everyone off. And they're not going to find a spot that really makes the game better. They're right now, they're on the burner where they're trying to crank out as much content constantly as much as possible. They need to be able to have some downtime to cook. Let's be honest. Like, I'm looking at Warframe. They have yet to have the same problems that Bungie has. And they take the time to cook on their stuff. Sure, they do small updates, but their big expansions, their big updates, they take time to cook. And that's what we need. We need more time to cook. Less stress, less mess, good quality. People need to stop thinking about quantity and get on the train of quality. There's a reason why Into the Light was fantastic. It wasn't massively in quality or quantity, I mean, but it was great in quality. Not seeing Destiny 2 trending and clicking to see absolute asinine takes on both how the player base would take a reset of their entire accounts, State and Tiger as an engine. Again, Tiger as an engine is garbage. Destiny 3 is a great idea until you realize Destiny 2 would be on life support for 2 to 3 years until it launches. It would be great when it came out, but the drought to get there would only kill Destiny even more. I don't know if the hype of a new game, if done right. Again, people act like we don't get new games. Like sequels. I know there's a lot of fear out there because there's been a lot of game releases recently, like Concord, that have been garbage. We're talking about Bungie, where there's a struggle, but if we actually were on a good field, I think going to Destiny 3 wouldn't be hard. But it would actually, I think the only way to make D3 work is if it became a real MMO. A real first-person shooter MMO. A real one. A true blue MMO. Destiny 3, and it would be new. Destiny 3 is the new World of Warcraft 2. D3 would need to completely change the way it plays in every way. And if it did, it risks alienating the player base D2 spent a decade. Let's be honest. The player base is gone. They're gambling on nothing. The player base is gone. Let's stop using it. Oh, people, they're going to lose people. They already have. They've already lost people. People are gone. I think it's okay to take a risk because it's only uphill from here. Bungie just gave us a roadmap. DT will be experimenting with new styles of play. Sit down. Yeah, we'll see how that works, Cotton, because that ignores all the other reason. It will ignores all the other reasons and issues in the game. Like I said, the fact that I have no care for any guns and the chase in the game has been killed. Unless they remove crafting from this game, I have no desire to care. Destiny 3 conversation is so tired, man. People keep clamoring for the removal of crafting. For us to return to this so-called golden era of intense RNG, that would 100% kill the franchise. Crafting was such a great addition that modernized the game. Crafting? Not crafting. And not random rolls. Or numbers. Isn't that crazy how that works? Also, April, this is random rolls. Random rolls did this. Into the light. Completely random rolls. No crafting. Isn't that crazy? More people here? Less here. I think people are delusional who cling to crafting. We don't need crafting. Crafting is the bane of existence. We literally can do a seasonal vendor for the FOMO where you can take current seasonal engrams and trade them in for a seasonal vendor who rotates seasonal weapons like we do world vendor right now. This is someone that is literally huffing and puffing. And yes, the golden era of Destiny was RNG. That literally, it's a looter shooter. Imagine if Borderlands, which is also looter shooter, you farmed for the best gun in the game from a boss, but all you had to do is craft it, and you could just skip the grind. It would kill the game. It's a looter shooter. You loot to shoot, not craft and shoot. It's not a craft and shooter. I would rather craft armor. That would make more sense. Craft a god roll armor set. I think crafting armor. Let's do that. Not my guns. Bungie unquestionably has the experience to launch Destiny 3. They have the experience, but do they have the incompetence? They don't. I don't think those are two things connect. The problem is they can't develop it with leadership they have. There it is. Peter gone? Sure. I think even then, Sony needs to be in charge, and I think some of Sony's studios need to collaborate to make this work. But the dev team needs to level control that can't shine right now. Yeah, I mean, the morale in the company is at all-time low. People are going to want their old crap back, though. That's why Bungie will never get Destiny 3 right, and why it's a bad idea. Unless all the old crap is carried over, there's always going to be a way for Bungie to take easy routes, introduce last word for the 5th time. It would be the 3rd time, and I think that I think choice exotics, like, I think it should just be Gallahorn. Gallahorn is the most iconic exotic, and I think it should be the only Destiny 1 and 2 weapon to come forward. I think everything else is a stay in the past. I think Gallahorn, and it should return into its former glory of being a strong rocket, and it should be a very rare drop, like in D1. Like, it should be the chase item that you were always scouring the world, like in an MMO. That's my personal opinion. Destiny 3 is a bad idea. Let it die. People are so brain dead when discussing Destiny 3 because one side say Destiny 3 would be a great idea if Bungie makes fun game. No crap. Every game is a good idea if it's fun. And then you got the other side acting like making D3 is the messiah or something. I mean, you're right. D3, if it's made by current Bungie, it wouldn't save anything. Like, we would have to really reinvent the wheel. And they would have to have the passion has to be there. And that's the problem. Bungie doesn't have the passion anymore. You could tell that's why they split up and try to do multiple projects, because they're done. They're tired. They wanted to be done with Destiny. They want it to be the slow, casual drip. Okay, now take that great expansion strip away all the content, go back 3 subclasses, remove all weapons except maybe 2 in each slot, and slowly drip feed the content you stripped back into the game. Okay, so again, I think 3 classes, great. If they're new, they're fresh, they're unique. Don't bring back old content. Just make it new. It's simple as that. That's Destiny 3. Shut up about this argument. Again, this person's an idiot. There's better arguments to be had. Like, Bungie's not capable of doing it. But you're an idiot. At Destiny 3 to be successful, it would be new stuff. Get over it. Leaked official Destiny 3 announcement. Real. All. Destiny 3 is a really bad idea. Destiny 2 can easily get an update with a whole new name, refresh with upcoming expansions and major updates, and we can never even see D1 content. The problem is the engine sucks, Bungie's incompetent, and there's too many guns in the game that literally just make most new guns meaningless. Like, I'm not saying sunsetting is the answer, but I'm saying a new game is. Let us keep our old gear here in Destiny 2, but it's time to move on and let's get a real MMO. That's the only thing I can say. The only reason I would care to do Destiny 3 if it was a true blue MMO. True blue MMO. I'm telling you. I would be excited at a real MMO. Real economy. All the works. I'd be excited. Real missions, like side missions. Core story missions. Like, I would love that. This tweet's probably the most surface level approach to the entire topic. A lot of people with Destiny 2 are systemic, and the whole belief is that a Destiny 3 would change it. There's no faith in the idea that they wouldn't mess it up or worse either, though. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, you're hoping that Bungie is able to do it in the first place. To be honest, I'd only be interested in Destiny 3 if it featured a single character system, as rumored previously, where you could mix abilities from all 3 classes, similar to a prismatic subclass. MMO, baby. MMO, that's where I'm at. Stop with the Destiny 3 bullcrap. It's not happening. Destiny 2 will live on for 10 more years. I'm gonna like this, and we'll come back in like a year, and I'll come back. I'm gonna I'm gonna take a picture of this later, and I'm gonna store it somewhere, and I'm gonna mark it on my folder. It says check back in a year, 2 years, 3 years, but I like keep it going, and then I'm gonna make a video about this and be like, is it living forever? We'll find out. Time capsule, the sucker. Can I get a man? All caps too. This person really upset at the fact of people wanting Destiny 3. Woo! Can I get Destiny 3? But it's included a remaster of all D1. Leave it behind. Leave it behind, man. Let it be a new game. I've never played a sequel game where they brought back all the old crap. Maybe some fan favorite stuff, but like, let's not do this. And considering the state of a AAA game, yes, Destiny 3 will suck on launch. Probably. In my opinion, that isn't enough. That would essentially be a Destiny 2.5. It needs to warrant significant changes for me to want a Destiny 3. There needs to be more than just a news of the same crap we get every year. MMO, baby. Let's go. Real MMO stats. Like, I mean, get rid of the intellect bullcrap. Like, some actual MMO stats. Let's do like Diablo stats. Let's go crazy. Let's actually have armor sets and crap like that. Let's go. Because all the big heads can't come up with a concrete reason for there to be a Destiny 3 to happen, nothing to warrant it besides Destiny 2 is dead. That's not a reason. As far as I'm concerned, D3 will be dead on arrival just like Destiny 2. I'm not going to say it. You know what I want to say. The reality is that if we were to get Destiny 3, it'd have to be a decision taken a lot of time in advance with plenty of development time, and we would not have a fraction of the content we have now, and the beggars themselves would be the first to complain about it. True and true. It would need time to cook. I think there should be a decent, substantial quantity. If it was like Forsaken amount of content, I think that's a good start. A good raid, all that stuff. A dungeon you get on release, sectors, like open world, like true open, like, oh my God, imagine we have a true open world, like an actual MMO. Holy crap. We get a planet and it's an open world. or a massive open world. Not like we obviously have a somewhat open world now, but I mean true massive open world. Oh, and we actually have space, like say there's multiple planets with open worlds, like Starfield, but more condensed, so it actually works. And you can actually have space fights. Oh my God. Imagine Destiny actually having, you actually can have a space battle. And they can do it. Bungie literally made Halo Reach with a space battle. They could do it. Even if it's the most generic base thing, they could do it. I think that's good enough. We went 30 minutes. As you can see, a lot of people are either for it or against it, or they're like me in the middle. Like, it would be great if they could do it. They probably can't. But I agree. It'd have to be substantial. Like, if we're just getting a Destiny 2.5 or Destiny 2.5, it's not gonna cut it, man. It's not gonna save the game. It's not. I can argue against it. I can argue for it. But ultimately, it needs to be an MMO. You son of a bitches. I'm going to continue to say it needs to be a full-blown MMO. Give me the MMO experience. Let me have an economy. Let me have space battles. Let me have a true blue open world. Let me go, daddy. That is me huffing. Like, I am huffing and puffing the Hopium. And I know it's not even cope because it's Hopium, because I know it's never going to happen. But I'm a gaming counselor. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. It's just an interesting conversation. What do you think? As always, I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor. Until next time, don't forget to game out.